It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Browns and the Steelers, and it comes your way next.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they have certainly got it rolling of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run for the first time with Michael Carter. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he's got room. Fights through it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 85 yards.
And I get the feel.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. There he goes left side. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, we talked pregame about how we might have some twists and turns in this one, but how about this on the opening drive?
Well, they had a pretty good drive working, didn't they? So you wouldn't expect this ending, because what you were thinking was they were going to put it in the end zone themselves, not have it go the other direction.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. His opening drive looked good for a while there last time out, was moving the ball down the field, but then the interception, and they ran it back to the house.
Let's face it, it's a game of human beings, isn't it? Mistakes will happen, and as you noted, he was playing so well on this drive. I don't know if there was a miscommunication between him and his intended receiver. Did they run the wrong route? Anything could have possibly gone wrong there. He'll just have to shake it off and keep firing.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw right side, complete to Carter. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Hunter Nicewander on to punt now on 4th down. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know you got to cut down those interceptions.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And 2 of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making. Both on display right there, and it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. On the counter, Carter. Room here to run. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 73 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Now the big play pushes him all the way out to the 40 now for 1st down. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And, Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career. And That's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that. And even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. One more time with Carter. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Santos' kick is up and through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. Now, I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, pulled him with the inside run.
And he stopped immediately there. The Etor Gross Matos there to bring him down. 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Drops it off for Chubb. They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Out to his left. And his pass incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Williams. And the Steelers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Carter to start the drive. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Sliding out of the pocket. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
And a nice call and really good execution there, because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle, perhaps. You know, you don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. They'll try again with Chubb. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Lawrence. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Blankenship out for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
And he's going to have a first down here. They're also into field goal range at the 28.
They'll throw now on the final play. He finds his man complete. It's Shepard. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. So there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. The Browns drive about to get started.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys.
And shutting him off, now open field. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And he's taken down inside the 30.
58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
On play action, Lawrence.
Open man right side is Shark. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Chubb again.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Chubb. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. He's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Micah Parsons in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Another tote for Carter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Steelers send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Back to throw now on first down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line. They'll look to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. 2nd and 15. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very...
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. They go play action with Lawrence. Rolling to his right. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You got it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. And he's taken in by the tight end Fant. 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Noah Fant, 77 yards. And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Santos with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this to his running back, Benjamin. That catch good for only a couple. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Hey, we got four down.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the final number on Next Gen Stats, how about this? 71 yards through the air.
Santos now to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns extend this fourth quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taking it about the 1. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
And they hope to polish things off, and what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak.
Flushed out right. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too.
Hey, seam six.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Chubb will get the call running left. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead will swell by one more.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taking it about the 1. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
He'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 2nd and 4. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw again.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
A throw to the flat for Carter.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A gain of 6 there on 1st. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.